Hello everybody, how's it going? We are here with a timeless reading. For those of you that are new, welcome to the channel. My name is Gabriella. Welcome. Before we get started with the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I'm using the Fountain Tarot deck for anyone curious. Ooh, I'm seeing that you're getting a message. Receiving a message. It seems like this was something that you needed on the emotional front. It's giving you something. When this message comes through, though, you may have already left. Somebody may be coming through and you could have sort of moved on already. Like for some of you, I'm seeing that you may have gotten a bit tired of waiting. Fear is what could have kept you circulating. It could have also been something that was holding this person back from expressing themselves with you, is what I'm seeing. Because I'm getting something about like helping one another, but somebody may not have been in the place to receive it, like maybe when you were ready. So something about the timing may have felt discordant between you and this person. Yeah, you could have felt like you were in a space to give something and maybe this person wasn't ready to receive at that point. And you could have sort of taken yourself elsewhere where maybe you felt more valued or more appreciated, or like you could be more helpful or more needed. Because you could have wanted to be needed in this situation. However, this person may have been in a space where they couldn't really take that on or they weren't willing to. And it may have felt really challenging to move away, but I'm seeing something about like slowly moving on and like fears sort of dissolving as you continue your way. Yeah, the way that this Temperance card is coming out, it seemed like in moving away from something that may have been like actually quite terrifying, well, maybe moving through it actually was quite necessary for you. It allowed you to sort of, I'm hearing face your fears in deep water, and I'm seeing you kind of come out on the other side where things are feeling shallow again, as far as you sort of standing up in the emotional energy of all of this. And it seems like you're in a much better place to be addressing things because you feel more capable. You know, sometimes when we're in a situation and it doesn't feel safe, it's very hard to reflect on things and to process things because you're sort of in survival mode. And so whatever this was that had been like really activating you, I'm seeing that because you've been able to sort of find yourself out of this situation, it's then brought you to a space where you feel safe to reflect on it. And even though there's some really difficult things here that you're addressing right now, I'm seeing it really be an immense aspect of your healing currently. And I'm also seeing the High Priestess on the bottom of the deck. Like, you may feel more connected than ever with your intuition currently. Like, something is sort of coming back to you. A semblance of that. But yeah, there may have been a fear of, I don't know, a fear of getting help or giving it. I don't think that it's so much giving it, but it's more so there could have been a worry or like a tendency to not trust something. But it could have been the way that you were wearing a situation. Like, to see the Ace of Swords and the Page of Coins, it's kind of like realizing that something was actually meant to help you, but it may have actually really scared you at first. It may have really freaked you out. So yeah, something was like sent to come through and help you, but because maybe you weren't aware of it at that point, or like you didn't know, or maybe like weren't trusting, it could have actually really been terrifying for you. But I'm seeing this thing was like for sure meant to be helpful to you. And like when you're in a space where you can see things clearly, you actually recognize that. But if you were feeling very ungrounded, you may have been very scared of something. Because I'm seeing like the Nine of Swords, especially in this deck, like look at how terrified that person looks. Like, that looks absolutely dreadful. It's like a lot of harsh colors as well. Like, it looks very Mars-like to me, with the red and the black and things feeling very like sharp and pointy. So yeah, Mars like Scorpio Aries sort of energy, which leads into these feelings of, it can be like feelings of paranoia, or feelings like being unsafe, or like, do I need to protect myself right now, or like really leaning into things but in an ungrounded way. And Ace of Swords and Page of Coins, it's like this thing is coming through and being like, hey, we're here to help, or I'm here to help. So in whatever form that this was showing up for you, like something came through and was definitely meant to be like uplifting and supportive and helpful to you, but you could have just been like so sort of scared in the corner for whatever reason. Like, you have good reason to have been reacting like this, but because of something that you were experiencing, it wasn't allowing you to clearly see that this thing was coming through to be helpful for you. But I'm seeing you move through something emotionally. It's like your feelings finally mobilizing. And so that feeling of being stuck emotionally where something could not be expressed, it feels very much like a blocked chakra. I'm seeing you're moving on from that. So this is no longer an issue for you, but it meant you needing to be willing to sort of like go into the depths and figure out like what was going on there and sort that out. Allowing you enough to finally move up and out of that and towards something that will feel much more well balanced for you. Like, I'm seeing there be an integration. Like, before, everything could have felt very dark and very heavy and very tumultuous, and now I'm seeing you lean more in towards the middle, where there's like less of that balance of duality, less of that back and forth opposition with the duality, and more of a balance. It's more of an integration here that I'm seeing. But I'm getting this be like very focused on like transmutation, like a very alchemical process that you're moving through currently. But yeah, you needed to emotionally be able to walk away from a situation, meaning like process through it and truly be able to like leave it where it stood, rather than continuing to relive this or bring it up or feel like you need to go over it again. It's like finally folding the clothes and tucking them away in the drawer and closing the drawer and being able to like leave the room, metaphorically speaking. And so now you go to a place where there's like more of a semblance of balance. And to have temperance here is like still something that you're learning how to transmute, still something that you're figuring out. Yeah, I will say this too, like for those of you that have a lot of like water energy in your chart and a mix of air in your chart, there can definitely be a tendency to, like, when you're feeling ungrounded, to become paranoid. Like, I've seen it, I think, like a bit less with Cancer, not that it can't happen, but like mostly Scorpio and Pisces. Like, when you're feeling ungrounded, you may feel like very unsafe, very paranoid, just like connecting dots, like unsure of who you can trust, like when you get to a really ungrounded space. And so like something that had happened that you'd experienced could have like really triggered this within you, because it's always something that's in there. It's just a matter of like what's being tapped into and what's what you're affected by and what going on out there is connecting with you in here. So yeah, something could have really happened that threw you off and really kicked something off for you that was very challenging to work with. But like the huge blessing of having those placements within your birth chart is that it gives you like the ability to connect when you're grounded and have this almost like otherworldly ability to see into things. So it's connected with your psychic abilities. So yeah, now you're in this spot where there may be like some resentment that you're feeling towards a person, or the people that you felt should have been responsible that maybe did not show up in the way that you believe they should have, and sort of like working through this, which is going to help you know how to show up, because after seeing and experiencing something where you were like, that's not how I believe somebody responsible should be showing up, it's helping you know how you want to show up and what's aligned with your values, your value system, as far as what you feel is appropriate for you. Like, when I'm responsible for something, what does that mean for me as far as how I show up? Because I saw the opposite of what that looked like. So now what does that look like for me when I take that on? Rather than just having all of this unprocessed stuff and being like there was no purpose to it at all. It's about understanding the purpose, seeing how you can cultivate that in a way that affects you presently for the better. I'm just seeing the sign of Sagittarius here, which all of us have Sag in our charts. The archetype of Sagittarius is about taking these things that we experiencing them and seeing them through the lens of like a philosophical approach that we then embody within our lives, that we use to sort of carry us through our growth, to synthesize our experiences and to seek out the truth. All right. And the end result of this is going to be, in part, really connecting you with an emotion, really connecting you within an emotional space within yourself that before you may have felt unsafe tapping into because of the depths of it and how ungrounding it felt. And now it's something that you're learning how to understand and use and control. And so I'm seeing you sort of like easing back into the water now in a way where, rather than immediately feeling fear when you tap into those things within yourself, there's more of a sense of groundedness that you're moving through this process with. And this is going to open you up to deeper abilities that you have as well. With that being said, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for connecting. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.